Welcome to the Loudon Board Gaming channel. I'm Ken, and today I'll be playing Near and Far along with the expansion Ember Mines. So Near and Far originally is a competitive game. So the base game is just competitive. There was no solo mode at all. But with the expansion Ember Mines, you can play cooperatively, which means that you can also play solo. So I'm not going to go over all the rules. I'm just going to kind of give a brief overview of what I'm trying to do here. So in Near and Far, you're kind of like an adventurer going off, and here's me going off, doing things in this town here, and then from that town, you're going to go out on this map and do some exploration, and you're trying to place these tents. You're trying to place all of your tents out. So if you place all 14 tents out, that will end the game. And then you just kind of count up your score. For the competitive mode, which is, again, came in the base game, whoever had the most points at the end would win. But in cooperative mode, you have this track over here. I believe that's called the Red King. And you're going to move up on that track. And basically, you probably can't see it, but wherever we end up when we get rid of all of our tents, it has like a score, like this space right here, it has a score of 60. So what you would do is you would multiply that number by the number of players, and then if the total points from all the players was that or more, you won the game as a team. So that's with the expansion Ember Mines. Now there's several things that came in the expansion besides just that. We have this here, which is the spells. You have like this deck of cards, which is the Ember Mines, so it's a little bit different. And then it replaces some of the buildings from the base game. You have like different, I guess these are called bandits, so different stack of bandits that you get. If you're familiar with Near and Far, and you haven't done the expansion yet, those are kind of what comes with it. And these are like modular, so like I don't have to use these extra things if I didn't want to, but I might as well. They are, I think, pretty good. So what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be doing actions in town. So you start off, and this is my character again, you're going to start off in town. Now, the expansion here, cooperative, it's still just 2 to 4 players, so you're not you're still doing like 2. You can't do like just one character, you have to play as both. Now I just recently got this expansion. I actually got for Father's Day from my daughter. She gave it to me, and I've played it already with 2 characters. I also just tried playing with 1 character, and I feel like there's not really that much of a difference between doing 1 player and 2 players. Now what I am going to do, and this is just my first time trying to test this out, I've added kind of like a dummy player here, this robot. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to have him start in the town hall, and he's going to move after each round. I'm just going to have him move to a different building. Now, if wherever he's at, if I go to that building, I can't use it unless I fight him. So I would have to fight him. And that's kind of like how the competitive mode is for the base game. If you go to a spot where another player has gone, you have to fight them. So I'm going to kind of like simulate that a little bit with the solo mode, where I'm only using 1 character with him moving along here. Also, this track, I'm kind of playing it on the harder difficulty for this. Usually you start down here. I'm going to start right here instead and see how that worked, because when I did solo, I kind of beat it by about 14 points, so I'll try that instead. All right, so to start off with, I'm going to take my character. I start off in town, and when I'm in town, I can choose one of these buildings to go to, and then do the actions of that building. Like I said, if I go to where the robot is, I'm going to have to fight him. If I don't if I go there and I can't beat him, then I go to prison and I just get like food, and that's all I get. I don't get to do the action. So the first place I'm going to go to is called the saloon. So I'm going to put my player there. And the saloon, now in competitive mode, this is the only one spot where you don't have to fight. So I'm going to kind of keep that the same, maybe with the roller, or maybe not. Maybe I'll say you still have to fight them. But when I go to the saloon, I can recruit one of these adventurers. Right now, I start with just a pet, and there are different pets. This came with the expansion, but there's a dog and a cat. And these adventurers are going to have different symbols on here, which are going to help me throughout the game. So I get hearts and eyeballs, a hand, a sword. This character here, for example, has a sword, a hand, and a magic. This is how much they cost, and this is what faction they belong to. So they belong to a yellow faction. On my board, I can have a green faction, a red faction, a yellow faction, or a blue faction. Now the pet can go into any of these spots, but if I get a yellow faction, I can't have another yellow faction on my board. Now I can get another yellow faction guy if I already have one, but I would have to decide which one I want on my board and set the other one off to the side. Now if I get 4 yellow faction either tokens or from my adventurers, if I get 4 yellow ones, I then get over here we have the chiefs, and I could then collect one of the chiefs, which gives me 5 points at the end of the game. They don't really do anything besides maybe give me discounts. So in order, when I go to the saloon, I'm not getting my hair done. Of course, this guy does look like a little bit like me. I don't have like the ponytail, but my hair is getting kind of a little bit longer. It looks a little bit like me. So I can buy one of these adventurers, and what I'm really looking for is someone with eyeballs. I start the game with 3 coins. Now, if I had like a yellow faction token or a yellow faction guy, that would discount the cost of getting one of these guys. But like I said, I kind of want eyeballs, because eyeballs will allow me to, like when I go to a coin spot or ember spot, I can get more of those things. Let's see. So we got this one. You got a hand. Now this one's not part of any faction. This comes with the expansion. They're just a minor, so that you can place them in any color you want. So that could be kind of good. This one has a hand and a movement and an eyeball and 1 heart. Having more hearts is important when you're going out adventuring, because you need 3 hearts to place a tent. And then while you're traveling, you're going to need hearts. Let's see. I'll probably just take... I want eyeballs. So let's just take this one, the yellow faction here. Actually, let me, before I do that, I'm going to draw my artifact cards. I forgot to do that. Draw my artifact cards, and then I'll make a decision based on that. All right, so one thing I do want to say is that there's a lot of table space that this game takes up, and the expansion, adds these extra boards and stuff. These are all the different decks of cards. This is like the artifacts, and this is the advanced artifacts. So at the start of the game, you draw 5 of these, and you draw 2 of these. Now, if you're doing competitive, you actually draft them. I guess you could do it cooperative as well. But so I drew these 5 cards. Now, I don't have to keep all of these if I don't want to. I could actually discard some of them. And then this was my advanced one. And so basically the card, this is like how many points I would get at the end of the game if I actually buy it. And this is the things I need in order to purchase it. So I would need an actual green token, not a green token, or not a guy with a green faction, but an actual token, a green token there. I would need 4 coins, 2 embers, and then my reputation would have to be at -2. So you can kind of be like a bad guy, and your reputation track is here. It's probably hard to see any of these fonts because the colors do not stand out at all, and they kind of just blend in with all the other color of the board. But basically, I'm starting at 0. So in order for me to get this flame crossbow, which sounds pretty cool, it would give me an extra sword when I'm fighting. And but I would need all this. I would need a -2. So kind of my goal right now would be to get -2s. And I do need, well, I guess it doesn't matter. I need faction tokens, or green faction tokens. And really, green faction tokens are probably the easiest to get because they are worth the least amount. But these are just my different cards that I have. I'm just going to place them down right here. and kind of think about what I might want to do with those. So yeah, let's go. So we're here at the saloon, and I'm thinking about just purchasing this guy right here. He's going to give me 2 hearts. He has 2 hands for skills. This is the hand symbol for skills, and 1 eyeball. It costs 3, so I'm going to place him. He's a yellow faction, so I'm going to place him there. And so I'll use my 3 coins, and I'm going to place him there. And that is basically a turn when you're in town. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to move up this track here by 1. Now there's a symbol here, you might not be able to see it, but this says a minion comes out. Now this is part of the expansion. You don't have to use this if you don't want to, but this is a minion card. It's going to have like maybe an instant effect, and it's going to be placed on one of the buildings. So like this, we drew this guy. He is going to the saloon, and then you lose 1 reputation when you recruit. So I'm going to lose a reputation, which actually might help me because I need negative reputations to do some of these cards here. So that might actually be too bad. Now, when I go to the saloon, I can fight him if I want, and I have to do it twice, once with my skill, once with my combat. If I'm able to do that, I get 2 reputation. But if not, he just stays on the board, and every time I go there, he's going to, I'm going to lose 1 reputation. Now I'm going to remove the robot. Again, this is just my own kind of variant I just made up, and I'm going to see how this works out. I'm going to place them here. We'll see how this works. It might be better like to roll a die and then place them, but I'm just going to make it kind of easy on myself and just move them across the board and then go back when he gets to the end. All right, so what am I going to do next? I have no money. Probably what I'm going to do is go to the mine. So to go to the mine, and the reason why I want to go to the mine is I want to get an ember because I want to come here. I want to get a turtle. So you can get animals here, like a pack animal here or a turtle. And basically what they'll do is they'll come down to my board. I have 3 slots for that. But when I get one, I'll then be able to hold a treasure. And so there are some treasure cards here. So I want to get one of these right away just so I can get a treasure. They also help with movement, and the turtle's pretty good because it allows me to skip a empty space and not spend a heart, which I'll explain when I'm out on doing an adventure. So let's go to the mine. So when I go to the mine, now first I choose my starting location. Now right now, there's only 1 starting location. If I had tents out there, I could start at one of those tents. But I don't, and then I move, and then for every camp, I have to spend 1 food. Now I have no camps right now, so I don't have to spend a food. So I'm going to move. I'm going to choose my starting location, which is just going to be right here. And then I'm going to move. Now the way I can move, on my board here, I have 2 movement right now. So I can only move 2 spaces. This is for the mine, and it's also for when I'm traveling out and doing quest. All right, so now when I move, I can either go down these like down shafts here, or I can go to the right, and I'm not going to bother going I can't go to the left because that's the start. So you can go to the right or to the left. This kind of like replaces the base game. The base game, you basically started in the 1 spot here, and then you moved to the right or downwards, and then wherever you put your tent, that's what you would get. So this is a little bit more random, I guess, because I don't know what I'm going to get. So I'm going to just go down here. Again, this game takes up a lot of space, so we'll see what happens here. So I'm going to go down. Oof, that's not too bad. So when I go down here, you see this little hand thing. I have to now pass a skill test. Now I have no hearts, so I think what's going to happen is I'm going to have to be forced to go back. But I need to roll a 7. I'm going to count the number of hands I have on my adventurers. I have 2 right now with this guy. So I'm going to actually roll 1 die. You don't get to roll 2. That'd be cheating. I'm going to roll this and try to get 7. I have 2, so I actually only need 5. Now, if I had hearts, I could spend hearts to help me be successful, but I don't have any hearts. So let's see what happens. Oh, I scored a 1. All right, so I'm not able to go here, so I'm forced back here. Now, I can, if I want to, actually do a camp there. I moved once. I'm going to move again. This time I'm just going to go to the right. So I'm going to go to the right here instead, and I'm going to come here. I have a combat of 4, so I'm going to go there. I have no swords, I have no hearts. I need a 4 in order to place a tent here. Kind of sucks, but It is what it is. So I'm going to roll this. Let's pray I get a 4 or higher. I got a 2, so I didn't get anything. So I go back here, which kind of sucks. But now what I can do at the end is I can place a camp. Now, when you're in the mines, placing a camp, you don't have to spend any hearts. When you're out on doing an adventure, when you place a tent, you have to spend hearts. So I don't need to do that. I'm going to place it there. Now with this tent, I get the rewards that's shown here. So in this case, I get 1 coin. So not really that great to put a tent on the starting spot, but now when you uncover certain tents, they're going to give you things. I don't know if you can see that, but right there it shows 1 coin. So I get another coin. Wow, that was a really bad turn. Actually, my other games I didn't have like any difficulties with going to the mine, but oh well. So 2. So that's the end of the turn. This is going to go up, and I'm going to move this here. I'm going to move this here, and now I get to go again. Now, one of the things I didn't mention already is that when you are in the town and you have to go to another town space, or you go out and take an adventure. So I couldn't do the mines again. I have to go somewhere else. Now I could come over here, get another recruit, which might be a good thing. And I forgot I need to add a character there. So let me get the little bag with all the characters. All right, so I got this guy. He kind of looks like me, except for he doesn't have the New Kids on the Block ponytail. All right, so we'll put him there. So I got 2 coins. I could get another yellow guy, and it would be cheaper, but then I wouldn't be able to use him, so I don't want to do that. So I'm going to go to the saloon. And I lose 1 reputation, which I'm kind of glad, because I need to start getting some of this stuff. And this is not going well for me already, because I do want one of these pack animals, but if I go there, I gotta fight him. You actually need food to get that one there. I'm going to buy something. I got 2. Shoot, actually, I can only buy a yellow guy, so maybe I don't go there. Hold up. All right, I got 2 eyeballs. I can go out. Maybe I'll go out and do an adventure. Let's do that. I'll go out and do an adventure. So I gotta go start the town. Now, the town's here. Now this game has a bunch of different maps, and it has several different modes. The mode I'm doing is the non-spoiler mode. There are like stories that you read from a book. You can also do this as a campaign. The Amber Mines comes with like 2 scenarios, so like just where you read an entry and like a little story, and then you kind of pick what you want to do based upon your skill or your fighting sometimes, and then you roll the dice and see what happens. I'm not going to do that. I'm going to just use these cards. It'll actually probably make the gameplay a little bit quicker, because I'll just flip the card. I don't have to read anything. I just have like 2 choices, and then I roll, and that's how I'm going to do adventures. And the way that you do those, they're actually called quests, and the way that you do a quest, you actually get to one of these books. Now, at the start of the game, it says to randomly place these out, but it doesn't really say how to do randomly. As far as a competitive mode, I guess you would just just spread them out as you want. Now in a cooperative, you're supposed to pick the number of books based upon the number of players, or 4 per player. So there's 1 of me, so I put 4 out, and I was like, I don't want to kind of go out all over the board. I just put wherever was closest. So I didn't really do it random. I don't know how I would do it random. Maybe roll a die or something. But anyways, we're going to start moving along. So now we go out on the map. So I left the town. I start at the town here, which is Dreamar. And again, when I do this is called the arcade mode. I can pick any map I want. So I'm doing the dried sea. On the map, we have different trade routes. So if I get a tent on both of these, there's 2 of them, whatever this symbol is, peppers, gears, lettuce, I guess, or cabbage. And if I get 2 tents on there, at the end of the game, I would score 10 points. We have coins, so if I put a tent there, I count the number of eyeballs, and I get that many coins. We have ember, it's kind of the same thing, but I get ember instead. So those are the things I'm looking for, and I'm trying to get to these books so I can have an adventure. So, and that's actually on an ember, so that's where I want to go. So the way I move, I'm going to count the number of movements, and I start with 2. And before I start off, I'm gonna count the number of hearts I have. So right now I have, this guy gives me 3 hearts, and this guy gives me 2 hearts. So I get a total of 5 hearts. Not that great. But again, I couldn't buy anything in here. So I'm gonna move 2. Now, for every empty space you leave, you have to spend a heart, except for where you started. So I'm starting here. There's no tent here, but because I'm starting there, I don't have to pay a heart, and I can move 1. So I moved 1. Now I'm going to move again because I get 2 movements. I'm going to move 1 more. Now because this one's empty, I have to spend 1 heart, like that. Okay. Now if I had a turtle, I wouldn't have to spend that heart. I could actually skip one of those empty spaces. All right, so I'm there. Now I'm going to do my quest. So I take this little booklet and remove it from the game. And I'm just going to draw a card from this deck, and we're going to see what this says. So now it says windmill fire. Now if you wanted to, if you were creative, you could like maybe come up with a little story if you wanted to. I'm not going to, but you could do that to have a little fun with this deck. So it's a windmill fire. So there's a fire there, and I can either evade the people or I can avoid them. So I need a skill of 8. If I do that, I'm going to get reputation, a blue faction, food, and 2 hearts. Ooh. So there's two ways to do this. First, I need to roll at least an 8 to pass it. And then if I get 2 more of that, I get like a bonus reward. So, but that's a skill of 8. I only have 2 hands. I have 4 hearts, but I really only want to use 1 because I want to do a tent. So I'm probably just going to avoid it. I'm like not the nicest person anyways. And actually, if I do that, I'm going to lose 1 reputation, which makes sense. So I'm walking by this windmill fire, and I'm just like, you know what, and this is kind of appropriate, I think, for this dried sea, maybe. Maybe, who knows. All right, so I'm going to roll. I need a skill of 5. I have 2 hands, so that's -2, so I need 3. And I do have some hearts if I need to. So let's do this. I'm hoping for a 7. So if I roll a 5 or a 6, that'd be really good. Oh yeah, 6, baby. All right. So that means not only do I have a total of 6 plus the 2 hands, which makes 8. So not only am I going to get the reward for 5, but I'm also going to get the 7. So right here it says, and it's probably hard to see, but I get -1 reputation. Nice. I want that. And then I get a red faction token. Let's see. So red faction token and a gem, which is really what I want. And 2 food. So this bread here. Okay. And so that's done. I'm going to put that on the bottom. So that was pretty good. Now, as the final step of my action, so let's say there wasn't a book, whether there's a book there or not, at the end of your turn, if you want to, you can set up a camp. Now, to set up a camp, and it kind of shows you on your board, you have to spend 3 hearts. I'm going to spend 3 hearts. 1, 2, 3. I'm going to place another camp. So there we go. We put that there. Now, when I place a camp on an ember space, I'm going to count the number of eyeballs I have, and that's how many ember I'm going to get. So I have 2 eyeballs, so I get 2 more ember. All right, we're already getting quite a bit of stuff, which is what we need. All right, and because I uncovered the next spot, I get another coin. So now I have 3 coins, and I have enough to buy somebody. And my turn is done. Now, I don't go back to the town at this point. I'm just done with my turn. All right, so at the end of my turn, I'm going to, now I can, if I wanted to, purchase one of these items here. And let's just take a look at this one. This one says gain 1 reputation when you build a camp on a gem space. I don't want that one yet because I don't want, I could do this one. Gain 1 coin when you defeat a threat. It's 2 points, it's 1 ember, it's a -1. I didn't talk about threats yet, but let's build this one. So I'm gonna spend 1 ember. I'm already at a -1. So I spend 1 ember, and I get this one. I'm gonna kind of slide this down and tuck it under here. I'm not sure if I mentioned this already, but this takes up a lot of table space. I actually have the tripod pretty high up there. I usually don't do it this high. I don't really need this card. All right, that was just the player aid. All right, so I kind of moved things around a little bit, moved my resources over here because I was getting tired of kind of like reaching over here for them. And those artifacts and stuff, I probably won't need them until later. All right, so I got quite a bit of stuff. Now, end of my turn, I need to move the track up here one, and we're going to move our robot to this space right here. So if I wanted to go to that space, I would have to fight him. I don't really want to do that. Now I'm going to come back to the town. Now I can go back to this saloon. Yeah, let's go to the saloon first. Now, if I want to, I could spend one bread and I could get rid of all of these adventurers and draw new ones. I don't really need to do that. I'm just going to spend 3 coins to maybe get this, let's see, get the blue guy. 3 coins. He has an eyeball. He has no swords. The green guy, let's see. See, I can always move this guy over here. So I could get the green guy. He has an eyeball and a sword and a hand. That seems a little bit better, but he has 2 hearts. That's fine, right? Yeah, let's do that. So I'm going to buy the green dude. And, oh no, wait. I do have this, darn it, there's no red. There's no red out there. Oh, okay, fine. I could spend a bread, but I need food. All right, let's just put that there. I'm gonna buy him for 3. And that will give me, did I lose 1 reputation? Yes, because then I could eventually get this. I don't really want to lose too much more, but I don't want to gain any, because it's going to be a while before I get this. Actually, 4 coins. A green token? I don't have a green token. You can always trade. So one thing you could do is you go to the town hall, and you're allowed to trade, let's see, you can trade 5 things to get 1 thing. And then these are like the trade values. So like if I want a green token, I would need 4 trade values, and I could trade up to 5 things in order to get that value. All right, I had to take a little break there, but I got to draw a new guy here. So 3 hearts, a sword, and a hand, and he's a green. So he will be a little bit cheaper. So that was my turn at the saloon. And now I'm going to move up this track, which we're going to draw another threat card. So this says, and this is immediate. That's what this symbol here means. We lose 1 reputation. Awesome. We don't want reputation. Well, we kind of are where we're at, but, and we put this at the town hall. And then this guy's going to move to the farm. Now, yeah, there's a little space right here called the farm. And you basically get food according to how many hands you have. All right, so what do I want to do? I want to go get a turtle. So I'm going to come here, spend Ember to get ourselves a turtle. And my turn's over. So it goes kind of quick. Move up 1, move this guy over 1. All right, now my turn again. I'm going, I actually wanted to come there. Because if I go there, I can spend an Ember. But let's just see our track here. Maybe we come down here. What's here? Ember. Maybe we come down here. Go 1, 2, 3, and just get this instead. Because I do want to come here and get some magic. Because if I go up there, I can get some spells, and spells are pretty cool. But well, let's see, what do I need for this? I need 4 money. So I do need money. I have 1, 2, 3 eyes. So, all right, let's go take an adventure. So now, even though I had this 1 heart left over, I don't get to keep it. So this is going to go back down to 0 when I go out on the town. So now I'm going to go adventure. I start here, and I can move up to 3 now because I got the turtle. Yay! Now, if I cross over a treasure, I get to draw 1 treasure card. So I could get a treasure that way. So I could actually come down to this one, but that's just that's not that great. I can go 1, 2, 3. I can always go 1, 2, 3 and go back. But I'm going to come here anyways to get treasures. So let me just do this. So I gotta set my hearts. So I have 2, 4 plus 3 is 7. Let's put that to 7. I can move up to 3, and I can skip 1 empty space. So I could actually, if you cross this one right here, I get to fight a threat. The threat level is 4, and I have 7 hearts. Let's do that. So this is the threat here. It's a bandit. It's a 4. And when I defeat him, I'll be able to put a tent and I get 1 point at the end of the game. So I move 1. So that's 1. I can move 2 more. Now when I move here, before going to the spot, I have to fight the threat. Even if I'm moving from an empty space, I don't need to worry about that because my turtle allows me to skip 1. So I'm going to fight this bandit. So I need a 4. And I'm going to count the number of swords. I have 1 sword. So that's going to help me with fighting this bandit. So now he's only a 3. I get to roll this, and I can use hearts to increase my die roll. But I got 3, so I don't need any. So with that, I'm going to move here. Well, I do get this bandit, so I'm going to just set him off to the side. I get to put a tent on him, and it doesn't cost any money. All right, so I'm going to finish off. So that's that was 1. Now I could stop there and just put a tent. Let me just use 1 heart. I'm going to go to this last space, and I'm going to use this this quest. So I'm just going to draw from this deck right here for the quest. It's flying fish. So I can eat the fish or I can race the fish. I need skill of 5 or 7. I have 1, 2, 3 skills, so it would be 4. Let's see, I get 1 reputation, which I don't really want, and a yellow faction token. This is red food. I get food and hearts. This will give me 1 coin. Let's just do the easy one to eat. So I have 1, 2, 3. So let's roll the die. And we'll see what our result is. So that's a 4 plus 3 is 7. That's exactly what I need for the extra bonus here. So I get 1 red faction token. So I think that's my second one. Whoops. And I'm going to get 2 foods. 2 foods with an S. Or is it just food? And then 1 heart back. So I get 1 heart, so I'm back to 7. But I'm going to spend 3 now to put a tent. 1, 2, 3. Oh, you know, I forgot. This card right here, gain 1 coin when you defeat a threat. Nice. So I get 1 coin. I'm putting it on that tent. Here's the tent. Goes right there. Get rid of this book. And that's a ember. So I have 1, 2, 3 guys. So I get 3 more ember. Doing pretty good here. Getting a lot of stuff, a lot of food. And let's see, do I have anything I can now purchase? I need to save my money for this. Actually, what I might do is my next turn come here, I'll be able to do this crossbow. All right, so this goes up 1. I thought we just put a threat out. Oh well, I guess another threat comes out. So another threat comes out. And this guy's going to move to the, so he was at the Mystic Hut. So these are 2 different locations. So now he's going to go to the mine. Let me draw this out. All right, so Town Hall, another Town Hall guy. So immediately I discard the current threat. So this raider is no longer in the game. And as you go through these threats, they get harder. So it goes all the way up to, I think, 20 is the last one. So this guy's going to go to the Town Hall. So I guess I'll just put him here. And now it's my turn again. One thing I'm going to say too, if I ever get 2 tents adjacent to this pathway here, this threat is no longer exist. So it's like being completely explored. Same with the treasure. So if I put a tent here, I can no longer get a treasure from the spot. All right, so I'm going to make this kind of easy. I'm just going to move 1. And again, this kind of resets. So I can still use this turtle. But I'm just going to place a tent there by using 3. 1, 2, 3. So another tent, which is going to give me 3 coins. But I'm not going to actually, yeah, let me just do that. So I get 3 coins. I'm going to just spend the, oh, I don't have a green faction token yet. Darn it. Maybe I should have done the other one. All right, so that's that. Oh well. Let me move this up 1. And then this guy's going to go back to here, which kind of stinks because I was actually going to go there and get a green. You can trade here, so I could trade like my red faction token to get a green one. Obviously, that's not going to happen now. So let me think about what am I going to actually do. All right, so I like turtles. We're gonna go get some turtles. Let's go here. Spin an ember to get another turtle. Yay! Okay, is there anything like worth getting now? Like none of this is really like moving one more. It's not really worth it. This is like +2 movements in the mine, but I'm kind of like I could maybe do that. This robot's kind of nice, but I don't have that green faction token. This is gain 1 reputation when you build a camp. I don't want to do that yet until I get this. So anyways, I spent 1 to get the turtle. So this goes up 1. So now we've already reached that like limit. Like if I had done all 14 camps already, then the score would be 44 that I would have to get, but I'm not quite there yet. And then this guy's going to move to the saloon. All right, so I'm going to move now to the Mystic Hut. So this is a new spot. So what this says is I draw treasure according to the number of eyes that I have. I have 3, but I only get to keep 1 of them. So I'm going to draw these treasures and let's look. So this is just 1 heart. This is +4, +2 points if you have the most or second most threat cards at the end of the game. I'm not going to get that one because that's kind of cheating anyways because I'm the only person. And then this one is Caravan. Gain 2 hearts when you build a camp on a trade route. I'm going to just go with the straight up 1 heart. Put that there. So this goes with the turtle. If I didn't have this turtle here, or if I didn't have any turtles, I wouldn't be able to get treasure cards at all. So so right now I can get like 2 treasure because I have 2 turtles. At the end of the game, if I get all treasures filled up, I get 5 points. I'll probably definitely do that. So that's the first part of this Mystic Hut action. The next one is I can either go up 1 on this spell track, or I can spend 3, or I can spend 1 ember to go up 3. That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to spend an ember to go up 3. 1, 2, 3. Now, if I had any guys with these are called like magic trainers or something, and if I had that on it, then I could go up 1 more, but I don't. So I'm going to, I think I forgot to move this guy. So I went up 3. Now, when I get to this spot, I get to draw 3 spell cards. And then at the end, so I get to draw 3 and I get to pick 1. So this spend food to get 3 hearts. This one, I gain 2 hearts and get 1 reputation. And this is a Summon Imp. I can either use as a sword or 2 hands. I'm going to take the Summon Imp because, again, I would take this one, but I don't want the reputation yet. So I'm going to just place that here on my board. And these are, just put them at the bottom. Now, if I had used any spells, so the way the spells work is I can use them like a one-time thing. I flip them over to use them, but to refresh it, I come back to this Mystic Hut. So if I want to use these spells again, that's what this symbol means. I would flip over all of them, but I don't have any right now. I'm just going to kind of get rid of these books. All right, so that's that. I'm going to now move this up 1. We get another threat. And let's see what we got here. The mine. Remove 1 mine camp. Awesome. I put 1 there. So this is going to go back. I think this is the only one that gets rid of the mine. So, and then I put that there. So if I want to go after those guys, which I don't. All right, so I'm going to go to the town hall. I'm going to the town hall. What does this guy says? No, nothing. I'm going to the town hall now. Again, I feel like I'm wasting time. I'm going to trade, so I can trade 5 things for 1 thing. And these are the scores. So 1 bread is 1 point, 1 coin is 2 points, ember is 2 points, a green is 4, red is 5, yellow is 6, and blue is 7. So I'm basically trading this one with is worth 5 points, and I can get 1 thing. I can get a green one, which is 4, so I have plenty to get it. I have 1 extra, but I can only ever get one. So like I couldn't get like a green one and a food, which does equal the same amount as 5 because I can only get one thing. So I'm getting the green token, and I'm going to spend this green token right away. So let's say I'm going to get this flame crossbow, which is a green token. I don't have 4 coins. Wait, did I not take the 4 coins? Oh no, yeah, I didn't. I was supposed to have 4 coins or 3 coins from there. So I'm going to just leave those there and pay that 1 coin. Get this, pay that, and then I have to pay 2 ember for that as well. I need -2 reputation, which I do. Or it can be -2 or less. So I'm going to tuck that under. So now I have a sword, plus I get 9 points at the end of the game. And now I could also, this is how you can get discard artifact cards, because if I don't fulfill any of these cards, I get -1 point. But I feel like I'll be able to do all of them. So I'm not going to discard any. And then if I want to, I can spend coins or ember to raise my reputation, which I do not care. Actually, you know what? Let me take that back. Rewind. I might actually rewind. I'm going to take that. I'm not going to fill this right away. I'm going to show you why in a second. So I'm going to take all those coins back. So 4 coins, green, and an ember. So take those 2 embers back. I'm going to show you why in a second. But I can't because of this guy. So I'm probably going to go do an adventure instead. All right, so this moves up. And now I'm going to go on my next turn. I'm going to go out and do adventure. Or should I go buy? No, I need those coins. So let me go here. Get my hearts back up. Remember, the restart to 0. I have 7 hearts again because I didn't get any new guys. And I am going to go try to get to this book. Or actually, let me just go to this one. Yeah. So let's say I go 1, 2, 3. I can move 3. I can move 4 now because I have the extra turtles. And I can skip 2 hearts. So I go here 1. And then I'm going to skip this one from my first turtle and skip this one from my second turtle to end up here. Now I'm going to do the adventure. So let's see what I have. Actually, this guy should have moved. So he's there. Let's see what I have here. Rock scientist. So I met some kind of rock scientist. And look, it's kind of funny this ended up being at the mountain here. So I can either help this guy, study some rocks, or I can pickpocket him. Now, I don't need this reputation like to say more. Skill 7. I have 7 hearts. I have 3, so it would be 4. Plus I can use the imp. Ooh, yeah, let me do this. Because I'm going to get one reputation, 1 blue faction, and 9 gems. Sorry, not 9 gems. And an extra gem if I get to 9. Which is going to be pretty good. So I'm going to roll. Here we go. Now I have 2 dice. Let me roll 1 though. And I rolled a 2. That's not the best. I used the imp. So use the imp for 2 plus 3. So that's 5. That's 7. And then I'll use 2 hearts. 1, 2 to get to the 9. So I was able to do the bonus one. So I get 1 reputation. So I helped this poor guy out with his rocks. I don't know, maybe I was carrying some of them. I get a blue faction token. And more importantly, that 1 gem. Actually, the blue faction token is worth quite a bit. It's worth 7. So that's done. Put that on the bottom. And now I can place a camp. Oops. I'm going to place a camp on the ember spot. So that's going to cost me 3 hearts. 1, 2, 3. Actually, I should have an additional heart because of this wild... What is that? I can't read it. All right, those were just wild nuts. So I actually have 3 hearts, which means I could place another camp on my next turn. All right, so I got plenty of ember here. Can I fulfill anything? Let's see, what is this? Oh yeah, I might do this. 2. Right? No. I need the coins. Well, here's what I'm going to do. So my turn's over. Are you sure there's nothing I can do? I can do this. 1 coin. It's not urgent. Ooh, I need both of those. Okay. Again, none of these are like urgent. This one's probably the best one. So let me do this. And I'm going to show you why in a sec. I'm going to do the 2 coins and the 1 ember. Because I'm going to place another camp anyways. So now when I I gain 1 reputation when you build a camp. Oh, on a gem space, darn it. Anyways, I'll still do it. All right, so that's the end of my turn. This moves up 1. This guy's going to go to the Mystic Hut, actually the farm. And now it's my turn. I'm just going to move 1 here to place a camp so I can get some money. So that's $3. 1, 2, 3, or coins. Oh, by the way, this is the start token. Okay, I'm done. This moves. This guy moves again. And now I am going to the town, and I'm going to go to here. So I haven't gone to the general store. I didn't actually say what all these are. This is town hall, saloon, the stables, the general store, the farm, Mystic Hut, and the mine. So now I'm at the general store. Now this is different from the base game. The base game, when you went to the general store, you either got money or you could just draw some artifact cards. So they kind of upgraded this to make the town a little bit worth it. So first, if there's this new special die that comes in the expansion, when you visit here the first time, you get to have this die. So now start rolling with this one. And what's different with this one is we can have instead of a 1, we have a reroll. And on the 2 space, instead of using the 2, I can spend a bread to reroll the die. So now I get this die, yay! And then I do these things. So I get 2 hearts, 1, 2. I get 1 coin, awesome. And then I get to 4 artifact cards. So I'm going to draw 4 artifact cards. Now when you draw 4 artifact cards, you can choose between advanced ones or regular ones. So I took 2 advanced and 2 regular. So I'm just going to take a look at these. The Singing Skull, which allows us to gain 1 reputation. That's not too bad. I might keep that one. Some of these aren't too hard. Gain 1 food when you build a camp on a gem space. I could combo with that. Ooh, so maybe I take both of these. Now I don't have to keep any of these. This is nice, but both of these are kind of bad. So I might discard both of these. I took 2 advanced ones because you score more points with them. But I mean, I could do this. But you know, now that I have this, like getting those, maybe not. So I probably don't want that. I think getting 12 reputation is going to be kind of hard. And again, it would be minus 1 point. It's only minus 1 point. Let me just keep it. So I'll keep, let's see, do I want to keep all of these? Maybe I'll keep all of these. I'll just keep them all. All right, so the last thing we do is here, if I buy one, it's hard to see here, but if I buy one of my advanced cards, that's why I didn't want to do this yet. So if I buy one of my advanced cards now, then I get to build a tent. So I'm going to buy this by doing the 1, the 4 coins, the green, the 2 ember, and now I can get this crossbow. And because I did that, I get to place a tent. So now that I've placed a tent there, ooh, look at that. I get a ember for that. All right, so we're halfway through finishing all of our tents. So that's done. We're going to move this up 1. Another threat comes out. So let's see what we have here. So farm. So if I go to the farm, actually right now I lose 1 food. So I have 1 food to lose. And I'm going to place that on the farm. And then this guy's going to go to the mine. All right, so I'm probably going to go here now. So yeah, so I'm going to go to the Mystic Hut. I'm going to draw 3 cards. 3 cards. All right, so we have the Old Journal. When you successfully complete a quest, draw 1 artifact. Yeah. The Sheriff. Gain 1 food for each time a duel occurs when you are in town. This is more like, this is part of the expansion, so it's kind of weird. Because you can, even in cooperative, you can duel each other if you just want to, but you don't have to. And then this one is a coin purse, plus 2 points if you have the most unspent coins at the end of the game. I don't really like that for solo, so we'll just take this book. course, I could like duel that robot. We'll just take the book. And then I'm going to spend the 1 ember to draw 3 more spells. Actually, I go up 3. 1, 2, 3. Draw 3 spells. 1, 2, 3. And now we have move 2. We can spend food to get hearts, or we can spend ember to get coins. Oof. Spend food to get hearts. Maybe we'll do that. That's like 1 camp. So let's do that. And then this will refresh. So now we got 2 spells. And we'll put this at the bottom. All right. This we're going to move down 1. This guy's going to move. And then I'm going to go to the saloon. So I lose 1 reputation. Now again, I could battle him. I have 2 hearts. And I have some that it doesn't. I still lose this 1 reputation. And it's worth 2 reputation if I can eventually beat him. Why don't we just if I fight him and I fail, I'd have 2 hearts. I have 1, 2, 3 hands. Plus I rolled this. I should be able to do this at least. So let's say I got a 2. That's 5 with the 3. Plus I could use my imp if I wanted to. So I'm going to put a coin on here. Now, in order to get the bonus here and get rid of him, I have to do the other one too. So far I've done it once. All right, so now I'm going to buy a guy. Now, with blue, he's actually a discount. So the question is, what do I want? I have 1 yellow, so this would be a discount, but I only have 2 coins. I could buy him, which would cost 1. This is just replacing him. I would rather get the blue guy. The only reason why I was wanting him is because of the magic. This is another eyeball with a hand. Yeah, let's do it. And it's 3 hearts. Yeah, let's do that. We'll buy the blue. I have 1 blue faction token, so it's cost me 1 less. So I'm going to spend my 2 coins. And I am done. All right, so this is going to go down. He's going to move over. I didn't really make a rule of what if he lands on me. Do I have to fight him? Let's say no. I mean, I don't know. Like, if I lose, I actually forget what the rule is. Maybe if you defeat the person, does that person go to jail? Or if you lose, you go to jail? I kind of forget the rules in competitive play. All right, so what do I want to do now? I probably want to go do an adventure. So here we go. We're off here. I really want to get down to this book, which is on a spicy thing. And I can grab another treasure. So let's do that. I can move 1, 2. Maybe I should, before I do that, maybe I get my last... Now, I put 2 turtles here. There's more turtles. They're on both sides, so I can actually get another turtle. Maybe I do that, because I do have 1 ember. Let me go here. Spend that, because this is this will give me, let me have another treasure. And I'm done with getting these guys. All right, end of turn. This goes here. This moves. Another threat comes out. And it is the general store. All discard 1 artifact. So I got to discard an artifact, which isn't terrible. Because now I can just discard 1 I might not end up doing. Maybe I'll just get rid of this robot. But he is worth 7 points. It's a lot of stuff though. Let me just get rid of this one. Because I don't plan on using it. Alright. Alright, we gotta get moving here. We gotta go here. We're gonna go here first. Oh, wait. First, let me do my heart so it resets to 0. So I have 3, 5. Well, let's see. Plus this one. Gotta do some math here. 5 plus 5, that's 10. 11. Ooh, nice. 11. I can stay out here for a while. So I'm going to go here first. And I'm going to build a gem. I'm going to build a camp on the gem space for 3. 1, 2, 3. And when I do that, I get 1 reputation. So that goes up 1. And then I count the number of eyeballs. 1, 2, 3, 4. So I get 4 ember. Very nice. I call them gems, but maybe they are called gems. I don't know. I think these are embers here. All right, so that's my turn. I have to end my turn there. When you place a camp. All right, so let's now This goes forward. This guy's going to move one. Oh, there's a lot of stuff here. All right, so now I'm going to move. I'm going to go 1, 2, 3. I can get a treasure. So let's see here. All right, while you own this card, you have +3 Ember. So this is for like end game scoring with the mines. I'll talk about that during scoring, whether or not I actually do that or not. Basically, I'll just talk about it now. Basically, these little Ember things. So if I have a camp here, at the end of the game, I have 2 Ember. If I have a camp here and a camp here, I would have 3 Ember. Whoever has the most of those at the end of the game gets 5. Whoever has second gets 3. Now for like solo, like I would automatically get those. I mean, technically if you don't have a camp there, you don't get it at all. So this would just give you another +3 for the end of the game stuff. I don't know if I'm going to give myself 5 points for that. We'll just see how I do with scoring. But anyways, I moved here. I'm going to do the last book here. Draw this and see what we got. All right, so we have a coordinated snakes. All right, so we can either attack them with combat 7. I do have the imp, which gives me 1 sword, plus that sword. I have 3 swords. I get 1 reputation, 1 green faction, which I do need for this robot, and 2 food. Or I can try to escape using my skill. I get -1 reputation, red faction gem. Let's go for this one. We need 9. And I'm rolling my special die. Let's move those to the side. I need 9. I have my imps. And I rolled that reroll. Good thing I got this die. All right, this is I guess this is a 3. So that's a 3. Plus I use the imps, that's 4. 5, 6. So I have 6 right now. What did I need? Where's that card? It's right here. All right, so I need 7. Let me just spend the 3. 1. Do I really need the 2 food? So I have, what did I say? I have 3, 4, 5, 6. Let me just spend the 1 heart. Yeah, let me do that. Because I can still, did I spend for that camp? I didn't spend the money for the camp. Because where was I at? I was at 11. No, I did. So 1. Let me just do that. And I'm going to put another, sorry, going a little bit too quick. Let me get this. +1 reputation. Bloop. Green faction token, which is what I need. And then I get 1 coin. Awesome. And I get 2 food. Oh, no, I don't get 2 food. I'm not going to do that bonus one. All right, so I'm going to put that down. Or do I? Look, that staff needs 4. How can I get an extra heart? Can I get an extra heart anywhere? Gain 1 reputation when you build a camp on a gem. Gain 1 coin. Nope. So maybe I won't do that. I can get food, just going here. I can get a lot of food there. Let me do that. Okay, so I got all those, and I could put a camp there, but I don't have to. And I have plenty of movement, so on my turn I can just come back here. Because when you do a quest, you don't end. You can continue moving. At least that's how I read in the rule books. I think if you place a camp, you have to stop. And I had plenty of movement, right? Because I went 1, 2, because they have a new rule where if you go back, like in the original game, if you go back and forth, you could keep drawing treasure cards. But now they say, you can't do that. I mean, as an optional rule. All right, so I was here. I went 1, 2. I have plenty of movements. So I'll just go back here and place the camp. 3. And place this camp. And how many eyeballs do I have? I have 1, 2, 3, 4. So I get 4. I'm just going to leave that 4 there. Oh, wait. Yeah. What am I doing? Yeah, I'm going to leave. Well, I'll leave 2. I'm going to do this one. So I'm going to just take 2, use a green token, and 4 ember. Bloop, 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 bloop. And now I don't get this heart right away, but I do get the sword. So I could go start fighting some things. All right, so my turn's done. And now I can't do this treasure anymore because I have 2 tents next to it. And we're getting closer to finishing. We gotta get this done quicker. This is going to go 1 here. This guy's going to move 1. Don't draw anything. And I need to really get some more camps out. So I might probably if I put camp there, let's see how far can I go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I can go 5, right? I can skip 3 of those. Yeah, I can go 5. So I'm gonna go all the way up here so I can do this, fight this this guy here to get another tent. All right, let me do that. So 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm going to try to fight this guy. And again, I don't have to spend for that because I have, or this one here because I have the turtles. So I'm going to lose this. So he's a 6. Here, I'll just put him on top. He's a 6. I have 1, 2, 3. I have 3, so I need 3 or higher. And I can actually do 1 heart. So come on, baby. That's a 2. So do I have enough? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And I use 1, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And I use 1 for 6. And that's enough to defeat this Psyllid eye. So let me just put it over there. I can put a camp on it. And I get a coin for defeating a threat. 1 coin for me. And this guy has a little extra bonus here of 1 reputation. That's super awesome. So now I'm at 0. And yeah, that ends that, but I'm still moving. So I'm going to move all the way up to here. I'm going to spend my last 3 hearts to put a camp there. I have 4 eyeballs, so I get 4 more money. So I'll take a $5 and exchange 1 there. And I uncover an ember, so I get an ember. All right, are there anything I can build? I could do this. No, I can't. I need some ember. I could do this. Let me do this. 2 coins, 1, 2, and 1 ember. 2. Oh, look, I have this too. So I'm going to do that next. So 2 coins, an ember, and I get the singing skull, which gives me reputation when I visit the saloon. And my turn's done. I got 3 tents left, so we're getting pretty close. I'm gonna move this up 1. There's only 1 threat left. I have this many things to do. All right, can I take out that threat? So this gives me 3 hearts. I really need ember, right? So I need some ember here. I'm probably not going to be able to do this one unless I trade in over. Well, I need reputation 12. I'm not getting 12 reputation. See, that's the highest. So I'm going to discard this one. Let's see. I gotta figure out where I'm going to go. All right, so here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to take a chance. I'm going to move 1. I'm going to have to fight this guy now. This guy won't allow me to do a tent, so it kind of stinks. I rolled this. I have 1, 2, 3 swords. I can always do a bread to get the hearts. He is worth 3 points. So I need 4. He's a 7. So come on, 4. Ooh, 5, yes. All right, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 swords to defeat this guy. All right, so he goes there. Again, I don't get to put a tent there, but I'm going to put a camp here now. I'm going to spend the 1 food to gain 3 hearts, but then spend the 3 hearts to put a camp on this ember here. So let me play that there. And I have 4 eyeballs, so I get 4 ember. I do need food though. All right, so my turn's done. This is going to go up. He's going to move over here. And I'm actually going to go to the farm. And when I go to the farm, I get 1, 2, 3, 4 food because it's for how many hands. Do I have anything that gives me? Oh, wait. I defeated a threat, so I do get a coin. And I get 1 reputation for building that on gem space. And game 1 with, no. Okay. So I get 1, 2, 3, 4 hands. Oh, I used the spell, so I need to flip this over. 4 food. So here's the 4, but I'm going to just turn these in. So 3 ember, 2 coins, and 3 food to get the boots. So now I can walk farther. Just put that over there. All right, so that was the end of my turn. This goes up 1 more. This guy moves over 1. All right, my next action. I'm almost done here. Is that worth going, or do I just try to end the game already? Because this is 66, 64. I have these 2. These are -2 points. What do I need? 2 coins. I have coins, so I'm going to get 2 more points for this. I'm going to get -1 point. So, like, I could just go out there now and just do these tents. But where can I put them? Darn it. So I need to put 2 more. I need 2 more tents to end the game. That's going to go up for 2 more points. See, if I go here and I spend my ember, I can refresh this, which would help. This will go up here. It will give me 1 point. I get 1 point per spell. I'll lose the ember. Let me get 1 point per one of those too. So that's 1 turn to do that. Plus I can get another treasure card. All right, let me just do that. It's just 1 more turn, right? So I'm probably going to be like up to 70 points. Let me just do that. So I go there, and I have 1, 2, 3, 4 eyeballs to look at treasure. Let's see what we have. Let's see if we have anything that gain 2 journey points if you have the most unused food. We're not going to use that one. You may ignore 1 threat per turn. If you do, gain 1 food. All right, we're going to keep that one. So I don't even need to think about it. Let me get rid of this card, because then I can ignore a threat when I'm traveling. All right, and then I'm going to spend an ember to go up 3. 1, 2, 3, which will give me another spell card. All right, which one should I take? Ooh, 3 swords. Darn it. This is actually not too bad. So maybe I don't ignore. Maybe I take this, use food to fight this guy with the spell. I would have no spells. When you must roll a die, you can roll 1 extra die and keep the highest result. I think I'm going to take this one, because maybe I can do this all in 1 turn. Do a threat and place a camp. Yeah, let's do that. And I refresh all these. All right, let's move the token up. I get another threat. All right, this threat says Mystic Hut. All discard 1 treasure. So I'm going to place him there. I need to discard 1 treasure. I'll just discard this one because I don't really... Oh, shoot. So I need a treasure and a threat. Darn it. Because I want 5 points. That really stinks. And then this guy moves 1. All right, let's see if we can figure this out. So I'm going to start here. I can move 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I can move 5. Oh, 6 because I got the boots. So I can move 6. All right, so the best path to go to where I can get a treasure and a threat. Let's see. It might be 1, 2, 3, 4. Or, yeah, let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And do like that. Let's do it like that. All right, so I'm going out on an adventure. I'm going to get plenty of hearts. Let's see, 3. Let me add all these up. 5, 10, 11, 12. I get 12. 12 hearts. Let me start moving. I can ignore spaces, but 1, 2, 3. I'm going to fight this guy here. So that's 8. I'm going to roll this. Now count it up. Ooh, that's 6. I only need 2 swords. I got plenty. I don't even need to use this. So I already have the 1 sword, 2 swords. So I don't need to use any of those. So this thread is done. So I'm going to put it over there. I get to put a camp on it. And I get 1 bread. Yum, yum, yum. Plus I get a coin because it was a threat. All right. And my turn's not done. So I have only 1 tent left. So I'm going to go across here. Gain a treasure. So, ooh, 1 more movement. So I'm going to place that there. And I'm going to go here and here. So that is enough. 1, 2, 3. Wait. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I can actually move 7. And I'm going to place my last tent. 1, 2, 3. So that's going to go here. And I get coins, which I have 4 eyeballs. So I get 4 coins. 1, 2, 3, 4. And I think that's it. When I place a camp though, right? Gain 1 reputation? No, just if I was on the gem. All right, so that is now the end of the game. I am going to calculate the scores. So basically I'm going to get scores for all of these. Oh wait, I need this artifact. 2 coins and a bread. And I get this, which gain 1 food when you build a camp on a gem space. I didn't do that, but so I'm going to get points for that. I'm going to get points for getting all my camps. I get 1 point for every camp. I get points for my threats. I get 1 point for every spell card. I didn't get all the way to this track, so I don't get to, actually I don't get to place a camp. If I got all the way here, I would get to place another camp. I didn't do any of the trade routes, so I don't get any points for that. So I'm just going to add up all the points. I have a score sheet, and then I will let you know whether I scored enough points. All right, so I don't know if you'll be able to see, but I did all the scoring. I didn't have any of the chiefs. I needed more of these faction tokens to get those, so that was 0 points. 14 for all my tents out because there were 7. You could actually get more tents out. So like on your last turn, maybe you did a threat. You were at like 14 or you're at 13, you did a threat and you put a tent out. So you can actually get more. But I got 14. I get 2 for getting all my camps out. I got 5 for all my treasure cards. Got 0 for any of the trade routes. 30 points from my artifact cards by getting -1 for this one, not doing it. I get 7 for my threats, 4 because of each coin and extra, every 2 coins and gems are give you 1 point, so I got 4 there. I got 2 points plus 1 for each. Yeah, so these faction tokens, I got 1 point for each of those. That's 2. My reputation was 0. My magic was 3. I have 3 magic things, and I wasn't counting this. I gave myself 0. I didn't even have any camps out there, so I would get 0 anyways. I also didn't give myself the bonus. Whoever has like the most, the furthest along here, gets 2. I didn't do that either. So my total was, my total was 66. And where was this track at? It was at exactly 66. Awesome. So I did it. I got exactly the score. All right, so I'm going to kind of bring the camera in a little bit closer and maybe go over my final thoughts of this game. All right, so even before getting the expansion that allowed you to play cooperative and allowed you to play solo, I really did like. I really do like Near and Far, even the competitive. I felt it was very fun. The game comes with a lot. You got all these different scenarios. You have all these different maps that you can go through. There's like a campaign mode where you read different stories. And I think you go through every map. There's actually two kind of campaign modes. One where you go through each map, and I think there's like a level up system, I think, and you can get new skills. I've tried it once. I didn't get too far into it. But there's also like a character campaign. So you pick like where am I? I can't even find me right now. But let's say I was the robot, and the robot's going to have his own like little story. So instead of like reading, there's like a giant book that's in the box that I didn't pull out that has all these stories in it. And so with the character, he would have his own stories. And so instead of like going to, what is this, the Fire Delta, and you turn to 102 of the Fire Delta, instead of doing that, you would do like a story from him. So that's kind of neat. I do like the town and placing your workers out there, and then going out in the adventures and placing your camps out there. When you're playing competitive, it's a little bit more like not area control, but you're trying to race to get to different spots, because in this I can just go wherever I want and place my tents. But I can't, if someone had already placed a tent here, I couldn't go there. So you're kind of limited in where you're going. You're also sometimes fighting for these. I didn't do this in this game, just because I think it's kind of boring. It's just like points, but it is a lot. Like if you got one on this pepper and the other pepper is way up there, you get 10 points. But let's say I went here and then someone went to the other pepper and put their camp there, then we would have to share it, and instead we would both score, I think, 3 points. Is that what shows up there? So there's like that competitiveness with the map. And then like coming here, let's say you were playing a 3-player game, there could be like 2 people at different spots here, so it like limited your choices. I tried to mimic that with the robot, and it actually, a few times I had to like change the order of things based upon where he's at. I could maybe even change this up a little bit. Maybe it's either randomly rolled, or maybe I put in 2 characters and put one here and one here, and so there's like always 2 spots that are covered up. I forgot to add a adventurer there. It didn't really matter. I do like that though. I like all the different adventures. There's like a huge bag here, and you just draw from it. The expansion added some new ones. So yeah, even before like the solo, I did like playing this game. However, I do want to say this about the solo. When you play with the storybook, and actually not about the solo, but just about the game. When you play with the storybook, it can kind of make the game a little bit longer. The stories can feel a little bit like disjointed, because like, I could come to here first and read 180, 81, but then later come to here. Or in my game, I don't have either of those, because you randomly put out based upon the number of players. So you're just like reading like little bits of a story, and you might not really get like a full picture of a story. So it's kind of neat, but it's also like not super necessary. That's why I do really like that the designer made this deck of cards to go with it, because if you don't want to do the story, you can just play the arcade mode, pick any map you want. There's like rules for some of the different maps, but and then you just draw these cards, which is doing the same thing of what the quest does. And it does give you kind of like a little like Lost Miner, and you can kind of make up your own story if you wanted to, but then you still have the same effects of those quests in a deck of cards. So it goes a little bit quicker. You don't need to read the stories. Not saying that the stories are terrible, but they are what they are. They're just like short little paragraphs that you read. Matter of fact, the Ember Mines expansion comes with these 2 scenarios. I've done both of them, and I did like 2 players, so you're only reading 8s, and I did a single player where I only read 4. And, I'm not going to spoil anything, but it wasn't really, didn't really matter. These decks would have been just fine. Um, but there is that, if you do like that kind of stuff. And I do like stories in some of my games. I just don't think like it's super necessary in here. But I think maybe the campaign or going through the character story would probably be a little bit better. So that's that. As far as like the expansion, is the expansion necessary to play solo? And I'm going to say it's not. I think I got the expansion, because I knew there was this other stuff which is good. I'm glad I got it. But the to play cooperative is just really like, you don't need to use these minion cards, and they're not really. They're just like, they're okay. They're not like, I didn't do any of them. And maybe if you're playing with more players, you would have more things. Like, yeah, it's neat. You have these little events. There's not like a lot of them. Like, there's one left. But it's just a tracker. And it's just like, as high as you go on that track, that's how many points you have to get. So there's nothing like really unique and special to the cooperative, which is kind of good in a sense that he just made that, not making it too complicated. But at the same time, it's not really necessary. Like that expansion, don't get the expansion because you want to play cooperative. You could easily just play cooperative and just say, okay, we have a certain number of rounds we have to go, and we have to get a certain number of points. You could just do it that way. But the expansion, I do think it is good, because you do get the spells, which I like quite a bit. You get this extra die. This space becomes better. This space becomes better. The Mystic Hut, because originally the Mystic Hut was just draw 3 cards and pick one. Now it's a little bit more involved. You get to draw treasure cards based upon the number of eyeballs. You get to go up on the magic track. And then this is kind of like a hit and miss for me. I know a lot of people who got the expansion, I think they think that this is much better. And in some ways it is, but I just, it's a little bit more random. Like I got kind of stuck here. It's a little bit more random. This was a little bit more guaranteed of what you were going to get. So I think usually when I play competitive, I would go to the mine quite a bit because I knew what I was going to get. But this was kind of like random, and I couldn't even get those things. But there are like better spots than here, because you can get treasure. But look, like the next one would have just been 1 ember. Now maybe this is better competitive because you can get more points for this ember stuff. But more points doesn't necessarily mean it's better. But it's kind of neat. It does add a little bit more to it. It's not too bad. I think the best part is the spells. This right here. The minions are, I guess, better too. It came with a new set of threat cards, and I'm not sure why. I guess they give you like extra stuff up here in the corners when you defeat them. But it's like the original game had different threats. You still put them in like order based upon how hard it is to defeat them. You don't like mix them, you just use them. I guess you could, if you wanted to, switch them out. That's probably an option. So those are okay, I guess. I don't know why you would choose one over the other now. But yeah, the expansion, I think it was worth getting. It adds more characters too, more things, a few more cards, the spells. So I think, again, it's not worth getting if all you want is to play solo. Now, I do like, again, having the track is better, but I do like the solo. I'm not going to say I like it more than competitive, because, again, competitive adds that extra kind of like, I got to quickly put out my tents and get the stuff. But playing it solo and playing one character makes the game quicker. So near and far competitive can take quite a long time. That's not a bad thing, but now, like, I could probably play this in an hour, playing it solo, just playing one character. I played 2 characters. I think just playing one character is better. It's less you have to manage, and you can play it much quicker. And now it's like, ooh, maybe I will go through the campaign, and maybe I will go through maybe a character, because it doesn't take as long. Maybe I could play like 2 games in one setting and kind of go through a campaign. So that's kind of cool. A little things that I'm going to kind of mention that are kind of uh, what I don't like about the game has to do a little bit with the graphic design of the game. Now the designer, I'm pretty sure he's like the publisher, the designer. He also does all the art, which is art is fantastic. He has his own little style. There's like other games in the series. I think one's called Above and Below, which if you flip these characters over, you can use these for that game. I don't have that game, so I guess I would never use it. There's that one, and then he has another one called Near and Far. Sorry, this is Near and Far. Now or Never, I think, or Now or Now or Never. And then he also has a bunch of others like smaller games, and then he has like a giant game called Sleeping Gods, which kind of has like adventure kind of style. I think that's he's kind of made some of these games where it's like you do like story and kind of like worker placement or some kind of other mechanics. And he also does all the art. Now he has a certain art style which is in all of his games, and they are pretty good. I do like the art styles. The only thing that I get why he did this, but everything's very brown. So he picked a scheme, a palette, his color palette, which is good. Like it kind of gives a feel for the game, and it kind of makes your art even better by picking a certain color palette. The only problem I have with it is that I don't think he did enough to make things like pop out. Like if you're going to use all the same color, certain things that you need to see and read should then stand out. Like all the fonts, like look how hard it is to read it. Just kind of like it doesn't pop out. I think it should pop. The numbers here don't pop. They like kind of all blend in together. Like this is pretty good. Like this font right here, and this was part of the expansion. Like this pops because of the darker background with the lighter font color. So I almost feel like if he were, I mean, he's not going to do this again, but like this should maybe have like an outline, like a either black outline with white font or white outline with black font, whatever would help to make these fonts pop out, because none of them are popping. Like they're really hard to read. Even on this board, they're hard to read. And then another thing is like all these backings have like similar colors, and the ones that like the artifact cards, like these are the 2 different artifact cards, and the only difference is this symbol here, which is it pops a little bit but not enough. I don't know if he should have just used a different backing. And it could have been easy enough for him to do. Like he's his own artist, so it's not like he has to pay someone else to do another art. And he could have easily have like taken this picture right here and taken this that he already drew and he owns it, and just put it on as this backing, so you would be able to differentiate these 2 cards a little bit better. There's been times where these 2 cards get mixed up together because you're looking for that. But that's kind of like usually I don't talk about those kinds of things, but I did kind of want to mention it because I just noticed it during this playthrough, and I've played this like 3 times this week or 4 times this week. I noticed it was kind of hard for me to read some of these because of the coloring of the font. Other than that, I really like this game. High on my list. I'll probably maybe even play it more now that I can play it solo. And again, I could have played it solo probably before, making up my own rules of just playing it and doing like a tracker. But now that I have it, I probably will. And maybe I can do some of these adventures and doing maybe the campaign. But overall, again, I like the game. I probably made some rules mistakes or forgot things, like forgot about some of these cards that I have. But overall, like this game. I hope you enjoyed it. Do think about liking and subscribing. And thanks again always for watching, and I will see you next time. So long.